Wizard 5, The Fifth Hell. We begin where we left off with MC Whistle's performance failure. For lack of magic, he makes the kill marginally overweight cat from City Hall the old-fashioned way, with a gunblade. Alas, for exhaustion, he's eventually beaten out of his rider form, which somehow gets rid of his gunblade too. But luckily, for being from City Hall, the overweight cat is too lazy to finish our hero. Well, also, it's a bit early in the episode/series to end it on a downer. So the kitty cat runs off, leaving Piano Pan, the pianist man, to verbally kick the mage-called wizard while he's down. So you couldn't even skin a cat, huh? Some mage-called wizard you are. Do you even really doesn't afraid of anything?
You know, for someone trying to get his hands cut off, you're a real blast-ended scroot.
But how did you know I was trying to get my hands cut off?
Oh, I don't know. Do you think maybe someone who channels his power from the Prince of Lies could pick up on your obvious bullshit? Wait, I'm supposed to be exhausted, aren't I? Sudden fainting!
The mage-called wizard collapses from all his acting, which transitions us to marginally overweight cat from City Hall, collapsing from an infinitesimal amount of activity.
Hey, get your ass back up. You're supposed to be the villain of this arc.
Oh, but it would have been so much easier if not for that girl's Satan sense. My disguise was totally working, meow.
Listen, I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but you're twice that guy's age, 4 times his size, and the only freaking black man in Japan. How close were you expecting to get?
Oh, it was still the perfect plan, meow.
I am so going to tentacle rape you later this episode.
Meanwhile, later, inside the antique store, which by now is emblematic of this show about a magician, Dedette has just deduced that Lucy isn't human. For being somehow even slower on the uptake, Jeannie pratfalls after hearing this news. Dark-haired Jiminy Glick chimes in then to explain that
we figure that Lucy is probably just the leftover husk of someone who became a funky phantom.
Oh, so she's like a nobody.
A funky phantobody, yes, exactly. It's an original concept.
Speak of the devil, the mage-called wizard awakens to find Lucy in his oddly spacious room.
Already time for the morning sacrifice, is it?
Oh, don't worry, I took care of that. I found this stray child who was just running around with his parents. But I wanted to ask you why you want to help that jerk keep his hands.
Well, you know how it is, my funky phantobody friend. You let one guy become a handless funky phantom, next thing you know it's a dismembered funky phantom frat party.
True dat.
Meanwhile, later, Pian Solo is stressing out for his failure as a pianist, and his inability to play piano. Alright, enough of that. He's also stressing out because shaky, tilted camera angles have invaded his home, and the whiz kids are now knocking on his door in the dead of night. Lucy wants to give Piano Pettigrew shit for his stage fright, telling him,
"You need to live in the now, sister girl, and I'll tell you why. You see, I was once sad. I said I was once sad."
Oh, I'm sorry, flashback time. Da-da-da-loo, da-da-da-loo, da-da-da-loo.
I was sad about being a funky phantobody, but then the mage called wizard said he'd be my hope. It doesn't really relate to your situation. I just wanted to tell you about it because I got my clothes wet a ton while we were shooting at Emotional Revelation Beach.
Flash forward. That story isn't really helping to bolster my confidence.
Well, look at your waving tongue, all adorable and intact. I wonder, how many testicles do you still have?
Don't answer that, it's a trick question.
It's worse if he doesn't answer.
Meanwhile, earlier, marginally overweight cat from City Hall is getting chewed out / tentacle raped by Phoenix Wrong and Gorgonzella. Phoenix Wrong figures it's his turn to speak, so he gives marginally overweight cat from City Hall some rocks.
These precious stones will conjure magma mites to aid you in your hour of need.
Oh yeah, he sounds like he's annoying, because he's possessed by the anti-Phoenix Force, which is also known as the Lemming Force.
Oh, well, these don't even look like real rocks. Bless me, grunts, aren't those magma guys kind of useless, meow?
Yeah, look, listen, I just thought it was high time I had a line, okay? Meanwhile, later again, the whiz kids are trying to make nice with Lucy, Lucy.
You know, we should get along better, Lucy. 'Cause the mage called Wizard said he'd be my hope, too. Oh, he said that to you, did he?
Yeah, Master said that to me also.
And he even said it to the ass monkey. I guess he says it to everyone. So, yeah, we should be friends, right? Oh, yes, we're dear friends now. Forever and ever and ever.
Awesome! After waking up a lot more impotent, MC Whistles is told by dark-haired Jiminy Glick that for unfathomable reasons the villain is waiting until the piano concert to strike. Luckily, that's just a cutaway, so there we see our pianistitarian about to do his piano-playing thing. He appears to have slicked his hair Pajama Sam style now, doubtless to ease his worrying about things. But the concert is soon not interrupted at all when Magma Men attack outside. Attacking for 5 seconds, that is, until the mage called Wizard blows them to dust. Aren't you glad we found out those guys came from rocks?
Oh, well, mage called Wizard, I won't be dealt with so easily. Painful death meow.
And that, I believe, is what's called an anticlimax.
The cat came back to the very next hell.
I meant to say a fucking awesome anticlimax. And so the concert concludes, the crowd around the entrance acting like nothing weird just happened, per this being Japan. Popey pianist goes out to thank MC Whistles for taking care of the demon.
Thanks for taking care of that demon, man.
No problemski, guy whose name I didn't learn. You know, I don't care what the critics say. P is an art form.
That's not what I do. Anyway, don't you want to know how I knew you were fighting the demon?
Why would I care?
Okay, well, I only got second place, but that creepy girl taught me to live in the now, so don't worry, I'm gonna carry on all hopeful-like.
Oh great, I just took a life for Sally Silver. You know, I was going to go all psychonaut and destroy your inner demon to make sure they couldn't target you again, but I think I'll just pass this time.
Master!
You're so wacky, MC Whistles. I'm going to brand you again later.
And that's the arc, my thoughts. Well, everybody loves a pianist, but length must have a limit. Next time, The Mage's Page, The Toner Crisis. Or, The Mage Meets Anne Page, The Shakespearean Boredom. Until then, good night and ghosts.